people. I've only got like 11 minutes on my thing, so I can't record a really long video today. Not that that's something to boo-hoo about. So I've been reading a lot of finance books and stuff, and a lot of thinking about financial situations and budgets and debts and stuff like that. Especially since I'm getting older, don't have anything at all for retirement, and we still owe a bunch of debt, especially towards student loans. Like I never did student loans at all. I paid cash for college on my own. I worked myself. We were just raised that way. And I never got credit cards, never got in debt, nothing. The only thing I did was I took out a loan for a car, for my first car. $10,000 loan, which I believe was way too much. And I could afford it, the payments and everything, but it wasn't wise, you know. It's just smarter to pay cash outright for your stuff. It just is. I don't believe in any kind of loans anymore, not really. Not for phones, not for cars, not for clothes, not for anything really. We live in a society where we feel like we're supposed to do that kind of thing, and that it's expected. It's just expected of us to get into debt for cars and furniture, TVs, sound systems, all of that stuff. And if a car ends up needing some repairs, we will get rid of the car and instead get out a loan for another car, or we'll go in and if the car starts getting a little older or needing repairs, we'll go in and use it as a down or something for another car, for a bigger loan. I mean, almost everybody does this kind of thing. And then we all wonder why we can't get rich, why we never get ahead is a better way to put it, why we never seem to be able to have enough in savings, why we never seem to, why we're always, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, and why we're suffering. Another thing is how easy it is for us to judge others. I mean, how natural it comes to us to automatically judge somebody by what they drive, what they wear, what kind of, you know, what their shoes look like, what kind of house they live in, what they do for a living. We just judge it, automatic just judgment right there. And it seems like the less we know about life and finances and being smart with money, the more we judge people. And a lot of really decent people will judge the wealthy. It used to be that people would judge the poor, and yes, there are some that still do, but they're more often than not, people like middle class and lower class people judge the upper class, like really harshly. Comments that I hear everywhere and read everywhere are just, it's unbelievable, the judgments that people make, the criticism that they make against people that have money. Like, I can't believe they spent money on that, or I can't believe they bought that car, or I can't believe they got that house, or I can't believe they're going on such a lavish vacation. And like, that money could be going towards the poor instead. And honestly, I used to be that way too, because I didn't understand. I didn't get it. I'm not wealthy at all. So I can't say that I changed my perspective because I made money. That's not the case. I changed my perspective because I learned more about money, and I learned more about how people get money. Most people do not inherit their wealth. Most people do not win the lottery, and most people do not just get lucky or strike it rich or come off on some big deal where they're making a lot of money. Most wealthy people do not do it this way at all. That never comes their way, ever. Most very wealthy people or millionaires are people you would never suspect were millionaires. They can be your next door neighbor. They could be the family down the street that drives a minivan. They could be your kid's teacher at school. They could be the nurse that treats you in the hospital or at your doctor's office. They could be an engineer at some local, I don't know, building company or something. And none of those people make a lot of money. But statistics prove what facts are, and facts are something that you cannot argue with. You cannot win against that. That's like arguing against gravity. It's like arguing that water is going to saturate your clothes. It's like arguing that you can eat on dishes without getting them dirty. I mean, and just stupid things, and like things that you can't change. Basically laws. I guess it's not a law that your dishes will get dirty if you eat on them, because you can put plastic wrap on them. But then you're not technically eating on the dish, you're eating on the plastic wrap. So yeah, I mean, you can't argue that one either, really. A lot of people try to argue out of common sense, out of natural laws, natural consequences, out of logic, out of facts, out of figures. They think that their point of view, that their opinion is correct, and if you say so otherwise, you're offensive and hurting their feelings, and that makes you a bigot and wrong and stuff. But facts prove and statistics prove exactly how millionaires are made, and most every single case, it's because the person didn't get in debt for cars. They didn't get in debt for school. They didn't use credit cards. And if they did any of those things, they paid them off as absolutely freakingly possible as possible. Absolutely freakingly soon as possible. Oh my gosh, I can't talk straight. And just because we don't agree with it doesn't make it not true. So it does bother me when and it annoys me, and it bothers me when people continually get in debt and whine and gripe and complain about how they're not getting ahead, or how they live paycheck to paycheck, or how poor they are, how they never have the money. Well, look how you're spending your money. Look what you're doing. I mean, it's not even your money. You're borrowing someone else's money to get stuff that you can't pay for. And and then you judge people who actually work really, really hard at being smart and wise with their money, when they can pay cash for a nicer car, or when they can pay a huge down payment for a house and take out just a 15-year mortgage, and they can afford it. Or if they buy nice clothes, or if they're going out to eat a lot, or, you know, if they've got the cash for it, they can afford it. If they work their tail ends off to make a lot of money, don't have any debt, they can afford it. That's their money. They worked for it. No one just gave it to them and said, here, go feed the homeless. No, they worked for it. I really do believe that God blesses those who are wise. He really does. When we're wise with our money, we prove that we can handle money, and I believe that God blesses those who are wise with their money with more money. I believe that He helps them. And then those who do have money, guess what they're usually doing with it? They're usually giving most of it away, or a big chunk of it away. They're giving away a lot more than you and I can afford. They can give away a lot more. I mean, how many people are you helping? How many times are you able to help a friend or relative that needs the money? Are you helping them with it as a cash donation to them? How often can you do that? Can you? So why are you angry at a wealthy person who is helping people way more than you can? Why are you expecting them to give all their money away? Why? It's not your money. They earned it. That's their money. They're already giving a bunch of it away. That's not good enough for you? Why aren't you giving all your money away? Well, you can't? Oh yeah, because you're busy paying back people you borrowed money from. Anyway, it's just my thoughts. We tend to judge wealthy people, and okay, my video is going to end in a second, so I'll just end this.